The purchase destroying more wealth than most people realize. $2 trillion. That is how much wealth ordinary people destroy every single year. Through cars. Not through gambling. Not through failed businesses. Not through stock market crashes. Through transportation. Every year, millions of families quietly bleed money into car payments, depreciation insurance, fuel, maintenance, interest, and upgrades they never truly needed. And most of them never realize how devastating the numbers actually are. Because the modern car industry learned something extremely dangerous about human psychology. People don't buy cars based on total cost. They buy them based on monthly payments. That one mental shift changed everything. A $42,000 SUV no longer feels expensive when it's presented as only $589 per month. And slowly, the trap begins. A trap where families earning good salaries still remain financially stuck for decades because massive portions of their income disappear into machines losing value every single day. I want you to imagine two families. One drives brand new luxury vehicles every 4 years. The other drives reliable used cars and invests the difference. From the outside, the first family appears wealthier. But after 15 years, the second family often owns something far more powerful: freedom. Because cars create one of the biggest financial illusions in modern life. They look like success, while silently delaying it. And for immigrant families and South Asian households especially, the pressure becomes even stronger. Because sometimes the car isn't only transportation, it becomes proof. Proof that the struggle was worth it. Proof that the family made it. Proof that success finally arrived. But what if the symbol of success is actually delaying financial freedom itself? Tonight, we dismantle one of the most expensive financial traps in modern society. Completely. The most violent depreciation in personal finance. There is almost no consumer asset that loses value faster than a brand new car. And the most brutal part happens immediately. The second a new car leaves the dealership, it instantly becomes used. And that single transition can erase thousands of pounds in value within minutes. Imagine buying a $35,000 vehicle. Before the first fuel refill, before the first service, before the first road trip, the car may already be worth £28,000 to $30,000. That missing money didn't build anything. It simply vanished through depreciation. And this is where most people misunderstand the real cost of cars. They think the expense is the monthly payment. It isn't. The real expense is the value evaporating silently in the background every single year. By year 3, many vehicles lose nearly half their original value. Half. A machine purchased for status, comfort, or excitement slowly transforms into a shrinking financial asset, draining money from the owner month after month. And yet dealerships continue pushing new cars aggressively for one reason. New cars are where the largest profits exist. Not because they help families build wealth, because they maximize manufacturer and finance company revenue. But something interesting happens around year 3 or 4. The depreciation curve begins slowing down. The first owner absorbs the financial destruction. The second owner often gets the smarter deal. That's why financially intelligent buyers rarely purchase new vehicles. They let somebody else absorb the early collapse in value, then buy the same vehicle later for dramatically less. Same engine, same technology, same badge, different financial outcome. And once you understand depreciation properly, the entire car industry starts looking different. Because suddenly you realize the industry isn't selling transportation. It's selling emotion. The modern car market does not want you calculating total cost. It wants you thinking monthly. That's the trick. Because almost nobody would willingly spend £50,000 on transportation if forced to pay it up front. But spread that cost across 60 monthly payments, and suddenly it feels manageable. That psychological shift transformed car financing into one of the largest consumer debt industries on earth, especially PCP financing. Personal contract purchase agreements are designed to make expensive vehicles feel affordable. Low deposit, lower monthly payment, flexible upgrade options. Everything about the system is engineered around emotional comfort. But emotionally comfortable does not mean financially intelligent. Because behind the smaller monthly payment sits a brutal financial reality. You are financing a depreciating asset while paying interest on top of the depreciation. That means the car is losing value, while the debt continues costing you money simultaneously. And millions of people become trapped in permanent upgrade cycles. Every few years, new agreement, new debt, new monthly payment, new depreciation cycle. The car changes. The financial pressure remains. For many households, car payments quietly become one of the largest monthly expenses after housing. And this becomes especially dangerous for families trying to build wealth. Because every $600 monthly car payment is also lost investment potential, lost emergency savings, lost retirement contributions, lost future freedom. A financed luxury car often delays wealth creation more than people realize. Not because cars are evil, because compound interest works in both directions. Either your money compounds for you, or your debt compounds against you. And most families never calculate how much future wealth disappears because transportation consumed the money that could have been invested instead. That's where the trap becomes generational. Why smart people still overspend on cars. Most expensive car decisions are emotional decisions disguised as logical ones. People say, I need something reliable, but reliability rarely requires luxury pricing. What they often mean is something deeper. I want to feel successful, and that desire is human, especially in immigrant and South Asian communities. Because for many families, visible success carries emotional meaning far beyond transportation. The car becomes evidence. Evidence that sacrifices worked. Evidence that years of struggle produced results. Evidence that the family moved upward socially and financially. That psychology is real. But it also creates enormous financial pressure. Because once cars become identity symbols, rational spending becomes harder. People start buying vehicles based on social visibility instead of financial logic. And modern advertising understands this perfectly. Car commercials almost never focus on transportation. They focus on power, respect, admiration, luxury, attraction, status. They are not selling engines. They are selling emotional transformation. And for a few moments, the new car genuinely feels incredible. But eventually, the excitement normalizes. The payment remains. That's the dangerous part about lifestyle inflation. The emotional high fades faster than the financial obligation. And meanwhile, wealthy people often do something surprisingly different. Many genuinely wealthy individuals drive normal cars for years. Not because they cannot afford luxury vehicles, because they understand something critical. Real wealth is what you keep, not what you display. The investment account matters more than the parking lot impression. And once you truly understand that difference, you stop trying to look rich. You start trying to become financially free. The expenses that quietly drain wealth. Most people only think about the car payment. That's a mistake. Because the real cost of ownership spreads into dozens of smaller expenses constantly draining money in the background. Insurance, fuel, servicing, repairs, road tax, parking, tires, interest, unexpected breakdowns, and luxury vehicles amplify almost all of them. A premium badge often means more expensive parts, higher insurance, higher repair costs, higher servicing costs, faster value loss. Sometimes people spend years paying premium ownership costs just to maintain an image that impresses strangers temporarily. Meanwhile, their savings account stays weak. And this becomes dangerous during financial emergencies, because expensive cars reduce flexibility. The household carrying massive transport costs has less ability to absorb job loss, illness, inflation, recession, unexpected family expenses. That's why financially stable people prioritize low fixed expenses. Because low fixed expenses create resilience. The cheaper your lifestyle obligations become, the harder life becomes to financially destroy. And transportation is one of the fastest ways to lower financial pressure dramatically. Not by eliminating cars, by making smarter vehicle decisions. Because the goal isn't looking poor. The goal is owning your future instead of financing appearances. How financially intelligent people buy cars. Financially intelligent car ownership is actually very simple. Most people just ignore it. Rule 1. Buy used. Preferably around 3 to 5 years old. That's where the steepest depreciation already happened. You avoid the financial bloodbath while still getting modern safety, technology, and reliability. Rule 2. Prioritize reliability over prestige. Toyota, Honda, Mazda, Hyundai. These brands consistently outperform many luxury vehicles financially over long ownership periods. Because reliability builds wealth, repairs destroy it. Rule 3. Calculate total ownership cost before buying. Not monthly payment. Total cost. Ask, how much will this vehicle actually cost me over 5 years? That includes everything. Because a cheap luxury vehicle can become extremely expensive once maintenance and insurance begin stacking up. Rule 4. Keep cars longer. Modern vehicles last far longer than older generations did. But society trains people to upgrade constantly. The financially intelligent buyer understands something powerful. The cheapest car to own is usually the one already paid off. And finally, match the vehicle to the actual transportation need. Not the ego. Not social pressure. Not community expectations. Transportation should support wealth creation, not compete against it. What happens when you invest the difference? Here's where the numbers become life-changing. Imagine 2 people. Person A spends £700 monthly on luxury car payments. Person B drives a reliable used vehicle and invests the £700 difference monthly into index funds averaging 7% annual returns. After 10 years, Person A owns an older depreciated vehicle. Person B may have over £120,000 invested. After 20 years, the gap becomes staggering. Hundreds of thousands of pounds separate the two financial futures. And this is why cars quietly shape entire lives. Because recurring expenses matter more than one-time purchases. Small monthly decisions repeated for decades determine whether wealth compounds or disappears. That's why financially successful people obsess over recurring costs. Because recurring costs either build freedom or permanently delay it. The $700 monthly payment isn't just transportation. It's future opportunity disappearing in real time. And once people truly see this calculation, their relationship with cars changes forever. Electric vehicles are changing the car market rapidly. And right now, something unusual is happening. Used EV prices are falling aggressively, which means smart buyers may find incredible value opportunities, but only if they research properly first. Because EV ownership depends heavily on lifestyle compatibility. Charging access matters. Driving distance matters. Battery reliability matters. And technology is evolving extremely quickly. That means new EV buyers currently absorb massive depreciation risk. But used EV buyers may benefit enormously, especially those purchasing 2- or 3-year-old vehicles after the steepest depreciation already occurred. The financially intelligent EV strategy looks very similar to the intelligent petrol strategy. Buy used, research reliability. Calculate total cost, avoid emotional buying. Because technology changes, but financial principles remain the same. Why wealthy people think differently about cars. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Many people spend huge amounts trying to look financially successful, while quietly delaying actual financial security. And the world rewards appearances aggressively. People notice the car. They don't notice the investment account. But the investment account changes your life. The car changes your image temporarily. One creates freedom. The other often creates debt. And once you understand this deeply, something shifts psychologically. You stop needing external validation as badly, because real wealth creates internal security. The person quietly building investments, lowering debt, and controlling expenses often appears less wealthy in public, while becoming far stronger financially in private. And over time, private strength matters infinitely more than public appearance. How to stop the car trap from owning your future. $2 trillion disappears every year because millions of families never calculate the real cost of cars. Now you understand the system, the depreciation, the financing trap, the status psychology, the hidden ownership costs, and the difference between looking wealthy and becoming wealthy. So here's your challenge. This week, calculate your true annual transportation cost. Everything. Payments, fuel, insurance, repairs, tax, parking. Then ask yourself one brutally honest question. Is this vehicle helping build my future or delaying it? Because financial freedom is rarely destroyed by one catastrophic mistake. It's usually destroyed quietly, through comfortable monthly payments repeated for decades. And if this documentary changed how you think about cars, subscribe to the channel. Because we break down the financial systems quietly keeping ordinary people stuck. Also, like the video, share it with someone overspending on vehicles, and comment below, what's the smartest or worst car decision you've ever made? I read the comments carefully. And your experience might help someone else avoid a financial mistake that costs them years of future wealth.